Yeah. Well, no, yeah, I'm gonna be out of the country for a few days here. Yeah, it's a little oil company. They wanted somebody who spoke some Spanish, so I don't know. They flew me down here and told me to translate. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty safe. It's funny. They wouldn't even let me stay in the hotel that I booked. They brought me over here to stay in a whole nother place, and I. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a frigid Houston County this morning. I'm messenger reporter Greg Ritchie, and welcome to today's edition of Houston County News. Big news this week is obviously this big storm we're going through this morning, and really into all day today, tomorrow, depending on when you're watching our little podcast here. And joining us on the show to talk about it as well, Miss Kendall Hickson. Kendall, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, I've been doing pretty good. You know, summer and winter have kind of been fluctuating back and forth. We're getting a little of this, a little of that.
Yes.
And winter has returned, it would seem. Now, the big worry, and everybody would love snow because snow's pretty until you touch it, and then you go, oh, it's wet.
And then it gets muddy and
dirty.
frozen.
Yeah. And then you want to bring the dog back inside. You go, oh,
It's wet.
Yeah. But really, the problem we're going to have is obviously freezing rain's a problem. And that gets on roads. We don't have big machines here to put salt or sand or anything. And so those roads, I don't know if you've ever heard of black ice. You know, sometimes you can see the ice and you go, whoa, don't cross the bridge. Black ice you really can't see.
At all.
And you just kind of, and I've driven a couple times in my life in really cold places and started to go into a spin, and you just kind of go, okay, keep it together. And one time, I'll tell you the story later, but I actually went off a bridge and I died. True story. That's not a joke.
Oh.
You know, the other problem we have when you start talking about a half inch, 3/4 of an inch of ice is on trees and power lines.
Oh, yeah.
So if you think about, you know, that much ice on a tree, how much that weighs. So any little limbs, dead limbs kind of on the brink start coming down.
Yeah.
They fall on roads, they fall on power lines, and that's really the problem. So keep an eye on the weather. We're going to be online as long as we ourselves have power and internet and all the rest. We hope all day and through tomorrow. Still no word of any school closings as of this second, but parents really need to keep an eye on that because it's going to warm up Monday. We just don't know what time any ice or how much is going to be out there. It's going to thaw off the roads. But I can tell you the city of Crockett is planning on opening the Civic Center as a warming center. And in Grapeland, Henry and his wife, Miss Hawes, are going to open up the Grapeland Senior Citizen Center as well as a warming center. So if you're sitting at home right now, using the last bit of your cell phone battery just to watch our show, thank you, but don't do that. Go to a warming center. Don't sit in your house with no heating when it's 15 degrees outside. Now, having said that, only go if it's safe to go. Don't, rush in the car and go, well, let me pop out for a Big Mac and then I'll hit the senior citizens. Nope, just, move small moves. Now, this is not a complete list, but Kendall, I reached out this week to some of our local churches and said, hey, if anybody knows for sure they're closing on Sunday, let us know. Because really this morning's really the worst of it, we hope. So do not rush out to church this Sunday. A lot of the churches are going to be online. A lot of them have been online. Maybe catch up on a sermon you missed one Sunday after you watch the show. But Kendall, I know you've got a partial list of at least the ones we know so far, but again, it's not a complete list, but these are the ones who've already gotten back with us.
Okay, so we have the Tabernacle of Praise, Latexo Baptist Church, Crockett United Pentecostal Church, Community Full Gospel Church, Harvest Church, Central Baptist Church of Crockett, Hampton Memorial Church of God in Christ, Liberty Hill United Methodist Church, Calvary Baptist Church, Center Hill Methodist Church, Norwood Heights Baptist Church, Kennard First Baptist Church, Love Lady Assembly of God, Flat Prairie Church, First Presbyterian Church of Crockett, the Oasis Church.
Yeah, and again, that's not a complete list. I talked to one of our local pastors, and he said, well, no matter what happens, I'll be here.
Oh.
And I said, I know you will.
Yeah.
I know you will. Because he's just one of those guys, trust me, he ain't going to miss. But, the average age of his church is a little older. And please don't go on the roads and be silly. If you haven't prepared by now, it's probably too late.
Yeah.
Just kind of hunker down and wait for help and save those cell phone batteries, save those flashlight batteries if it gets kind of dark, and call somebody to get some help if you need some help. So, Kendall, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the show right after this.
Houston County, Texas is a lot of things. It's our amazing cities and towns, Davy Crockett National Forest, and our fields and streams. It's cattle and lumber, manufacturing and tech support. It's national brands and mom and pops. It's our churches and it's our schools. For many of us, Houston County is home. Come visit us and see for yourself what makes this place special. Houston County, first in Texas history, first in our heart.
Well, Kendall, this is really a historical kind of podcast. We've got a lot of history coming up. Have you ever heard of a guy went by the name of Kenny Rogers?
Yes, sir.
Kenny Rogers, his mom lived here.
Believe it or not, Kenny Rogers is my cousin.
Is he really?
Yes.
Well, his mom was Lucille Rogers. There's a famous song called Lucille. Mm-hmm. And he met me one time, and we talked for a minute, and he immediately wrote the song "Coward of the County," which I'm not sure. No, but we're gonna see and talk about a bit of Kenny Rogers. But before then, folks, talking about history. So a couple boys were plowing a field in Grapeland in 1922.
Dang.
And they dug up this beautiful Civil War sword.
Wow.
And it's just been kind of bouncing around in attics and closets, and people just kind of. But a couple little ladies came in and recently donated it to our Houston County Historical Commission.
Wow.
And so Miss Wanda Jordan and I had a minute to kind of chat about it. Have a look at it. I think you might enjoy this.
We have this Civil War era sword that someone over in Grapeland, a couple of brothers named Calvin and Bailey Dortch, I hope I'm not mispronouncing that, dug up with a plow, plowing behind a mule with a hand plow. And
this wasn't last week. They found this 100 years ago.
1921, they think, or 22, the family thinks. And kept it around in the mid-50s, actually sent it somewhere to be documented to know for sure that it was what they thought it was. Some question that could have been a French 1700s sword, but came back and said it was a definite Civil War era, U.S. made. No opinion whether it was civil or north or south sword. And they'd had it around and asked us if we would like to have it to take care of it, to make sure it didn't get thrown in somebody's garbage can. So they brought it in, two very nice ladies, and we're going to find a home for it, or we have a home for it here. This is part of the fun part, is you look at this and say, where's it been, or how did it get to Grapeland, Texas?
How did somebody lose something as valuable as that?
Or let it get buried in their fields.
Guys didn't have a lot of nice swords like that just laying around.
So it got buried. We have the documents that they actually sent it off somewhere to be authenticated, and the documents came back and said that in fact was what it was. And they did give us all the documents so that we know we have a real treasure, not what somebody's family history said was a treasure.
And what do you usually do? Would you have something like this restored, or do you want to keep it in that original condition?
No, I don't think we'll have it restored. We will either find a place on a shelf for it, possibly have it put in a shadow box. We've had some other articles put in shadow boxes just to keep anybody from being hurt by it.
Yeah.
So but we just got it one day last week, so we still haven't gotten that far as to what we're going to do with it. But anybody that doesn't come by to visit doesn't realize that we have a lot of treasures here. And usually they're given to us because the family is cleaning out a house and they think, a lot of times they've moved off. They're no longer in the area, but they realize they have a treasure and nobody in the family wants to take possession and try to preserve. And so they give them to
Or
us.
don't know what they have.
Are they,
Don't know what it is. It's just
unfortunately, some of them lose interest and say, it's not our family. It's those kinds of things.
At Darling Ingredients, we're more than a company. We're a driving force in transforming materials that others often view as waste into valuable products that feed animals, fertilize crops to fuel trucks and planes, and nourish people across the globe. From sustainable solutions that reduce food waste to innovative materials that shape industries, our work makes a meaningful impact in supporting daily life and demonstrates that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand. From right here in Houston County to more than 15 countries around the world, Darling Ingredients, exactly as nature intended.
Yeah, Peyton, it's been a tough week. My Uncle Bert, he's been in a coma for like 2 weeks now, and I mean, we love the guy, but it's like, do we pull the plug, or what do we do? It's been awful.
You got any twos?
No, go fish.
This is the worst day ever.
Yeah, I don't know. You got any fours?
Well, I guess it's just your lucky day then.
Yeah, thanks. Well, folks, welcome back to the show on a very chilly and cold Sunday morning. The Houston County News. Our special guest this week, an old friend of the show, Dr. John Garner. Dr. Garner, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
Now, I could list all of your accomplishments and titles and all the things you've done, but I will say, if there's anybody that knows the history and is as passionate about our history as you, I don't know who it might be.
There are some more.
Well, now I want you to explain something, because you told me you're getting together all the VCRs.
That's right.
In this area. What's a VCR?
A VCR in our language is a veteran Crockett resident.
Okay.
That means somebody's lived here a long time and they haven't been able to run off yet.
Now, we all talk about economic development in our area, and one of the things we've talked about is tourism.
That's right.
Something I've always thought we really aren't tapping into. We had a bus full of Germans show up to meet Pip Gillette.
That's right.
We had a bunch of French folks that went to the Alamo, and we're good for cattle. We're good for lumber. Nobody's going to take a plane from Europe to see our cows.
No.
But the history of this place, and once you get into it, and we're not going to give away any spoilers because I know there's so much to talk about, but we've got a fascinating history in our little town, don't we?
Of course we do.
Yeah.
We have a lot to be proud of.
Now, you guys have got this group together. Tell me about this group and what y'all are working on.
Okay. For a number of years, people would walk through downtown Crockett or reminisce about days gone by, about how different stores in various locations there in Crockett. And it took two people who didn't grow up here to get together to start asking enough questions where some of us old timers realized that everybody didn't know everything that we thought they did.
Sure.
Jared Cravens and Jim Renfro were two of the ones that were visiting with Dorothy Harris there at the Houston County Depot Museum, and kept asking questions, and she'd say, oh, go talk to so-and-so, talk to so-and-so. And enough of us old guys, the VCRs, got to thinking about how we really needed to do some history recording and chronicle various places. And we were going through the idea of looking and what had already been done. Back in 1943, a man named A.A. Aldridge, this is a reproduction, a new publication, wrote a book on the history of Houston County.
Now, have you read that?
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm looking at all your notes and
Yeah,
little squiggles.
well,
and
it didn't come with all these post-its. They were
Oh, I
added
bet
later
it
on.
did. I bet.
That'll go back. But anyhow, that was history up until 1943.
Wow.
B.B. Beasley Ulrich had a compilation of Crockett newspaper articles from 1853 to 1896 that are available. That's in bound volumes. There's what we call the Bible of Houston County, Houston County history, that was compiled and published in 1979. Eliza Bishop was the main driving force of that under the auspices of the Houston County Historical Commission. And those are the major works that had been used as history for Houston County. And some of these guys, we started talking and we realized that these questions about the details of downtown Crockett just had not been chronicled. And
Everyone, as you say, assumes that everybody knows.
they did. And so people like myself, Lyle Thomason Jr., that just recently passed away, Charles Arnold, Steve Denny, Wade Thomas, Mike Mona, some other, David Tyre, got to thinking that we really need to get this organized. And as it happened, one of our major sources of information, Billy Joe Knox, passed away.
Yeah.
Also, in this past year, just 2 months ago, another one of our real walking history books, Lyle Thomason Jr., passed away. And we made mention of it even last summer that we need to get all this written down and preserved before we all died. And certainly, two of the people that were working on the project early with us have already done so. So we think it's going to be interesting. It'll be kind of fun to go through this. As you mentioned, a lot of our local residents really take everything for granted, don't realize that the name Crockett associated with David or David Crockett and Texas, the Wild West and what people perceive as being the lifestyle of Texas,
Yes.
are two things that go together quite well.
Yes.
I know Wade Thomas mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, there in the Stories of Texas store, which is on the corner of 5th Street and Goliad, he had a couple in from France. Not Paris, Texas. This is France. And they had come to Texas specifically to see the Alamo. The next stop they made was Crockett, Texas, because the name Crockett and associated with David Crockett. And Wade thought it kind of unusual. Well, he's had guests from New Zealand, United Kingdom, Canada, other countries, but we have a lot of potential and the ability to connect with people if we'll just have our self-organize and have various things that we can show them while they're here.
Well, we don't have a statue.
That's right.
Well, we do, but we might have to go fight to get it back.
That's the deal. And the question that has been asked numerous times to Wade and other people that are seeing our tourists, they want a picture of themselves with David Crockett's statue. And we can't show them a statue.
Yeah.
And of course, the story that you're talking about is true about there was a past statue that was supposed to be delivered here that was erroneously delivered to Crockett County, Texas, out in Ozona, Texas, and we can't get it back.
Yeah, it's today. It's in the downtown Ozona.
Oh, downtown Ozona.
I put a picture of it in the paper a couple months ago,
That's
and I
actually
thought
a true story that is very humorous.
stranger than fiction.
Yeah, it's really happened.
Well, we talk about, and you actually told me about something. I'm ashamed to say I didn't know about, and all the VCRs, the old timers, gonna go, how did he not know this? But Kenny Rogers,
That's right.
famously very connected to this area.
Yeah.
His mom, whose name is Lucille,
Lucille, yeah.
which might make some sense.
Originally from here, that's right.
Originally from here.
Lucille Smith.
And I know you've got a bunch of stories, but I didn't know that in '79
Yeah.
he did a whole TV special right here in Crockett.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
He had a full hour special called a special Kenny Rogers. You can access it on YouTube right now. Filmed in 1979, where he came through, had a film crew here. Of course, he has a lot of family that was here. His time, his mother and several sets of aunts and uncles and cousins, and literally walked across the square here in Crockett, talking to people. And one of his uncles told a couple of funny stories about him, and went around to the sale barn to buy,
Yeah, he did.
buy a calf. Went to the high school for a pep rally.
did.
Went to one of the churches to see their choirs. And you'll even get to, if you do that, access that, you'll see a young Tommy Driscoll who was mayor of Crockett at the time.
That's right. That's
And it was-
it's fascinating.
It really
because
is.
and even those old, I saw a picture the other day from 1922, something Charles Arnold found wherever he finds that stuff, of the first bank of Crockett, right here.
That's right.
The new
First
county
National
building.
Right.
And it was so different, but it wasn't. It's a weird feeling to see Model Ts sitting out there in a dirt street and say, "Yeah, but I just parked right there 2 days ago."
Right.
It's now you know me. I'm. Yes, I'll admit it. I'm a sucker for history. I absolutely adore it. I love everything about it.
That's good.
And so this kind of stuff, I want to know. Well, we're here on let's see, East Houston Avenue, right downtown.
That's right.
And you were able to find out something about the building
Oh, yeah.
right here, weren't you?
That's right.
Now, now, are there any ghosts? Should I?
Excuse me.
Now, you are the first. You are the
Here it
first.
is over
You are the
here.
first
Here's-
guest to bring show and tell, though.
That's right.
I'll
That's
give you
right.
credit
Yeah.
for that.
No, we can chronicle the history of this building, which is 502 East Houston, and we have it where, at least in 1905, it was a drugstore.
Wow.
Mr. Carl Gooseby Sr. had that. We've seen where it's been a men's store, Milton Berry's men's store. Neil Clements had a men's store here in 1954. The Junior family started a men's shop here in 1967. Johnny Stowe had a men's store in 1970. It's had a lot of things, and I can only go that far because we've been going through those phone books, which the public has been nice enough to share with us.
And track sort of
track
where-
those. And now we're in the point we're going through old newspapers and other high school yearbooks.
Sure.
Trying to get some data that we can count on everything.
The world has become so plastic and disposable that I do worry sometimes that the history is just going to kind of get lost or be in a dusty back room of a library that nobody looks at.
Yeah.
But it's all here, and especially you said the Eliza book came out in '79.
Yes.
So there's probably a lot of updating, maybe some
Absolutely.
resources she didn't have or they didn't have access to back then. And we've talked about even our local library
Yes.
has an amazing genealogy
If
section.
you have not been to the Crockett Public Library to see the genealogy room in there,
Yeah.
you have missed a real treat.
It's a room.
It's a big room.
Yeah.
That chronicles history not only of Houston County, but all the counties in Texas, many of the counties throughout the United States also. It has the bound volumes of the Houston County Courier newspaper.
Right.
It has on their computer access to the early newspapers back to the 1890s.
It's great.
If you want to go even earlier than that, the book I referenced, Miss B.B. Beasley Ulrich, goes back to some newspapers back to 1853. And you say, what does that have to do with me? It has more to do with you than you think.
It does. It really does. The house I bought when I moved to Crockett, I found out it had been built in 1915.
Yes.
And I was able to look up the owner, a guy that his family had come over from Ireland, and he owned a sort of a general dry goods store, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, even you talk about Mr. Aldrich, well, his grave is just, the man that owned most of this area. Mr. Gossett is over there.
Yes.
Who kind
This
of,
is the cemetery behind the current Brookshire Brothers.
behind the Brookshire Brothers, that's right.
Off
And that's
of Kings
another
Avenue.
place.
That's the Glenwood Cemetery.
And if you have not been to the Glenwood Cemetery, if you're into history, it's fascinating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of this going on. Well, what's the overall plan? Now we talked last time, and we were trying to help y'all get old phone books.
Yes.
You gotten some, but still need more, right?
Yes. We are doing pretty good on phone books up until from about 1957 forward.
Okay.
Any books before that, or some of those we fill in. Greg made a little joke about me bringing these boxes. I've got 2 full boxes of phone books that date back to 1950. And
Now I'm going to want to see one before.
oh yeah, I can show you. We've got them. People have been nice enough to share those with us. But there's also
I'd like to see a phone book from the 1950s from.
okay.
think
Well,
that'd be
we
fun.
can pull that out here. We've got stuff even older than that. We have one that's in bits and pieces, but it's still here nonetheless. 1952.
Hold, let me see that. Let me. pull that
Yeah,
up.
it's in pieces.
Yeah, I'll be very careful with it.
That's okay.
There you go, folks. Look at that. There we go. There's Knox Furniture Store on the back there.
Absolutely.
July 1952. Ah, that's amazing. That is just, isn't that just something?
An even more remarkable find we've had, Miss Janice O'Melina, the county treasurer's family had this book. This looks terrible, but what's inside is invaluable. It's called a city directory. Every so few years,
Right.
they publish these city directories for the business people to look up various locations of people who they work for and everything. Anyhow, not only does it have a directory of their phone numbers, it gives their names, where they worked,
Wow.
the spouse's name, where the spouse worked, has a cross directory in the back that goes down each street and tells you who's on which street, and even lists all the phone numbers in numerical order.
That's gold to a historian.
You can't find this kind of stuff.
Well, Doc, so we need more phone books from before, anything before 1950,
Yes.
basically.
Well, from 55 back.
55 back. And you're also looking for old pictures, aren't you?
That's what I would appreciate more than anything right now. We have several of our local people, as was mentioned, Charles Arnold, David Tyre, Mike Monis, that have acquired some pictures. They have a good number, but we're looking for as high quality as we can. We're running off copies now.
Right.
So we'd like to find some original pictures, and I hope that out there in the area, there are families that have some old pictures. It may have your family members in front of them, but if you have pictures of your storefronts to the various business in the background, somebody might have a picture taken from the courthouse looking either direction.
Right.
We have several pictures where some of the pictures were taken of the courthouse square from some of the 2- and 3-story buildings around the square. And what we would like to do is to capture those and then do some updated pictures from the same vantage point.
Got
To
it.
do a then and now pictures. That's what we have
that's
in
great.
mind. Matter of fact, we have
So-
some ideas on that coming up.
So pictures of, they took a random picture of the family, but in the background, here's the general store and the tailor and the candlestick guy and whatever.
Right.
Got it.
That's the kind of thing we're kind of needing, and
You guys will scan those and then get them back.
that's right. We'll scan them at the Houston County Historical Commission. We'll scan them, get them right back to you. Then we got them captured, and we can go through our process of trying to refine them and make them usable and everything. But it's kind of quite wild.
Well, it's going to reveal my status as a huge nerd, but I'm so excited about it. This is the kind of stuff I love. If there's something that I can do to help you guys, I adore this.
I want to show you one more thing, and then
Yes,
you talk
sir.
to Greg about this. Back in the 1800s, the insurance actuaries in the state made various maps of various towns to figure out what the rate of insuring various buildings and businesses would be. They're called Sanborn maps.
Hold that up next year.
Sanborn maps, and we have them all the way dated back to 1885, all the way, and they're not every year, but every 4, 5, 6 years, all the way up to 1912. Now this literally shows the square of Crockett. I'll turn it like this. The building I'm at right now
There it is.
was not even there. No, the corner building is.
Oh, I see it. Right.
There's space. So this building we're in right now, which is the Loft building on East Houston, was not even built in 1885. And we can chronicle the new buildings that have been made. These are housed, you can access them on the internet. The originals are housed in the Dolph Briscoe Center for American History at the University of Texas in Austin. And we're going to include things like this in that same publication. That has not been done. So you could really chronicle and go back many years. Cedar Crockett has had a couple of fires that destroyed a number of our buildings.
Courthouse, the Crockett Hotel.
There's been 5 courthouses here.
That's right.
2 of them have burned.
That's right. Yeah.
And everything. So there's a lot of interesting history that I think will be exciting.
Well, I'm
through
going to
the years.
save the spoilers. I know there's more to talk about Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's some Bonnie and Clyde stories in this area.
There's a real good Bonnie and Clyde story we're going to
So we won't give that away this time. But if you have older phone books sitting around or old pictures, originals, come by the Houston County Historical Commission right there downtown and
That's
let
in the
them scan
courthouse
them.
annex.
In the courthouse annex, yes.
Right across the hall from where you go to get your license plates and pay your county taxes.
See, I'm getting to be a VCR myself. I
Yeah.
just assume everybody knows where that is.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just there yesterday. I saw Al and Jim Renfro was there, and Miss Jordan and everybody else. So, Doc, thank you so much. We're going to save this. This is the first part of hopefully many parts.
Well, we'll be coming back to you later, but really, if you can help us out with those old photographs and any more of the old phone books, we would greatly appreciate. By the way, the phone books, if the families care to loan them to us, give them to us, they will be housed in the Houston County Historical Commission. We're keeping a full set that'll be used as reference points in addition to the phone books that are at the library.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Well, folks, once again, before we let you go, please be careful today. Be smart. There are a few things worth getting out on those roads and risking your life over. There are people that love you and expect you to be home whenever this all passes. So reach out, make sure people are around. Remember, Kendall, the P's of bad weather. You got people, pets, plants, pipes, and pickles. I don't remember the fifth one, but there's a fifth one you got to look out for. Now, Kendall, we always talk about young folks and how things have changed. And I was thinking the other day, people don't seem to get together a lot like we used to. So, like when I was a kid, my parents would get together with neighbors and friends and all that stuff, and they'd sit around for, what seemed like forever when you're a kid, 5 hours, and play dominoes or play cards. That's not just in movies, by the way. We used to do that stuff.
Oh, really?
And, no one in my family were drinkers or anything, but there'd be plenty of, iced tea and lemonade and little snacks. And they would talk. And one thing we used to do back in the day was we used to tell what we called jokes.
Oh.
Now, I know a lot of young people think that a 20-second video online with somebody falling down or a weird face is a joke. But I have decided to end as many of the shows as we can with the stupidest, corniest jokes I can remember.
Oh, I'm so ready for this.
Are you, though? 'Cause
Yes.
They get pretty bad.
Let's hear one.
Well, I had one I was going to tell you. Have you ever heard about the frog that went to the bank to get a loan?
No.
True story. No. So a frog goes into the bank to get a loan. He found a lily pad he wanted to live on, get a bank loan. So he walks inside, and the lady behind the desk there, she looks at him. The frog walks into the bank. Her name is Whack. Miss Whack. And she says, "Can I help you, Frog?" He said, "Yeah, I'm here to get a bank loan." She says, "Okay. Let's see, what's your name?" And he says, "Kermit." She says, "What? You're Kermit the Frog?" And he says, No. My name is Kermit Jagger. My dad was Mick Jagger, the singer. He had a girlfriend that was a frog, and I'm her son." And Miss Whack goes, "Right. Good. Okay. Do you have any, collateral for the loan?" He reaches in and he pulls out a tiny little pink elephant.
An elephant?
A little pink elephant like that, just a little ceramic elephant. She takes it and she looks at it. She says, "Okay, I'm going to have to check with the manager on this. Just give me just 1 second." So she knocks on the manager's door. He goes, "Yeah, Patty, come on in, Patty." And she tells him a story about this frog, and his dad's Mick Jagger, and this is his collateral. And the bank manager's sitting there looking at it. And he says, well, that's a knick-knack, Patty Whack. Give the frog a loan. His old man's a Rolling Stone.
Oh, geez, that was a good one. Mic drop.
And I'm out.
Alrighty, folks. Thank y'all so much for watching this week's podcast. Please stay warm in this cold weather and be careful on the roads. And we hope that y'all have a great rest of your week. Thank you.